Making the invisible visible. Black women, 365 days of the year. Each day will spotlight a remarkable woman whose story has shaped Black, British, or global diasporic history. Women whose achievements are too often overlooked. Through these daily short films, we create a living, breathing archive of leadership, creativity, resistance, and legacy. Let's begin. Well, my name is Yanique Hume. I have, however, other names that are part of my spiritual path and sacred tradition. So I'm also known as Omisaide within ritual contexts. I'm a Madre Nkisi within the Palo Monte tradition. Now, these are different titles within the sacred universe. And so I carry with me a sense of obligation and duty to an ancestral path. I think that in a way conditions how I am. I am calm and steady as a person. My character and my practice, I think, is molded by this idea of remaining grounded and steadfast, purposeful in my thought and in my action and interactions, right? So being mindful who I envelop within my fold, and also being as generous as I can be with what I give, and I see my journey in this lifetime to be one to as a transmitter of knowledge and a facilitator of encounters. Creatively, as a scholar working at as a tenured scholar working at a university and chairing a department, I have responsibilities that are more administrative, but I'm also creative at heart. And sometimes the practice is the research informs the practice. So what happens in terms of a few months down the road may have been percolating for some time as a research question or as an item I'm interrogating, or sometimes because I do a lot of site responsive work, the site itself calls to be moved in a certain way. And in that respect, I find when the site calls, sometimes the work comes quicker because it's moving from a very emotive space. I was invited to be part of a gathering of women of the Caribbean and the broader African diaspora called Afro-Feminist Performance Roots or Routes. And all of us are working within different frames of African diaspora dance, some more contemporary than others. My work is steeped within the ritual and sacred forms that I reinterpret for a contemporary audience. And so that invitation was a call to remember. It was a call to bring me back to my art and to recognize that it did not have to exist in the peripheries or on the margins of my scholarship. It allowed me and created a space where I could integrate my scholarship with my artistry in a more tapestry integrated, woven kind of way, without apology. So it really was a call to remember the holism, the integrated, holistic way of which we have always been taught and trained to live as these multifaceted, multi-tiered beings that are able to straddle and dance across these different supposed chasms of our being and kind of making it into one whole. At the heart, stillness, because stillness also holds vibration. For me, stasis is stagnation, but stillness is the moment for me before movement, or the moment that exists after movement. whether it's a movement of thoughts or a movement of body or a movement of spirit, it requires that we quiet so that we could hear, feel, but even beyond that, activate the senses beyond the five senses. So for me, self-care is community, my chosen community, which is a select few of powerful, beautifully grounded people, and being able to share moments with them, from from a shot of rum to a drink of coffee or tea, being able to go and view art together. It is also going in a forest, going on a hike, going on a walk, and being bathed by the sun or cocooned by trees. I think nature for me is one of those spaces. Not that I think nature is for me one of those spaces that allow me to ground. Um, as a child of the waters, a child of the two waters, both the sweet and the salt, and at the depth of the ocean, water is medicine for me. It is healing, but mountains are grounding for me. So my spa is the ocean, it's the forest, it's the riverbank, it's the gully, you know. Um, and being able to feel the soil and to feel the sand and to feel the water is all part of that cleansing, restorative mode, to be able to renew, to come at what we do and what I do and the community does anew and anew and anew.
Thank you for joining us for today's story. Making the Invisible Visible is our commitment to ensuring that Black women's histories and contributions are recognised, valued and kept in daily circulation. Across 2026, we will continue to share these powerful narratives, 365 days of impact, brilliance and inspiration. Stay connected, join the conversation and help us champion the women whose journeys continue to shape our world. I'm Paulette Brooks and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next